Bills, Packers, Cowboys, Giants. Which is the best landing spot for him?
I would say the Cowboys. I'd say the Dallas Cowboys the best landing spot for OBJ. Going back to the Giants, reliving that, and that's cool. He knows what New York is all about. The moment that he does not do or live up to what people's expectations are, then he becomes a negative. Right?
But Key, hold on, let's stop there for a second. The Giants, he is exactly what they're missing. He and Saquon Barkley, like it's like a redemption story, right? Like, oh, he was balling out, and then Saquon got hurt. All of a sudden, they wind up back playing for Dabo, balling
my God,
out.
Revisit the past.
But except revisit it better than it ever was.
No.
Max, can I tell you something?
I wish.
You know, you and I, as the Giants fans in the room,
yes,
like Yoda and Luke Skywalker, right?
Okay, who's who?
Dude, the Death Star is if he's over there looking at the Death Star, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
I don't know how you say no to that.
Well,
real talk, how do you can't?
Listen, it's very on brand, big star, the whole thing. No question, I get it. Warm weather, no taxes, the whole thing. And the Dallas Cowboys, Odell. And he might wind up being the best receiver on that team. Odell is still great if he's healthy.
Their wide receivers and their quarterback and their run game and all the pieces.
But he's the missing ingredient for the Giants.
He
would get all the credit. If the Giants made a run, it would be all because of Odell.
You as a Giants fan talking about why the Giants need OBJ. But if you're OBJ, it's hard not to look at that thing and say, that thing is ready and prepped for me to win a Super Bowl and be that dude.
All options lead to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, it just does. There's no Green Bay in there. They're not going anywhere. The Rams don't seem like they're going anywhere. Buffalo, do you want to be in Buffalo? Do you want to deal with the cold weather? Do you want to deal with a quarterback who's potentially having some issues with his elbow?
Nope.
Do you want to deal with any of that?
Nope.
Or do you want to be in Jerry's world? Do you want to be in Jerry's world in the big 100,000-seat stadium? You know you're going to the playoffs every single year. You already know that. You got a quarterback that's continuing to get better. You got a running game. You got a defense, a solid defense. You got two other dominant receivers that is learning how to play the 1 and the 2 position. You got a tight end in Schultz who's doing his deal.
Got the best player on the planet in Micah Parsons.
Why would I want to be in New York? I'm in Dallas.
Yeah, by the way, imagine if I try to pitch New York. Hey, Odell, it's a warm weather city. No, it's not. But there's no taxes, very high taxes. But look, they have a great defense. No, not yet. And they have all these weapons. Nope.
They got a quarterback. They got a quarterback. Nah, we're good.
I mean, maybe they have a quarterback, but we need Odell to find out if they do, right? I hear you. Dallas makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons.
Especially at the time that you anticipate him being able to come back to contribute, right? And that's, call it middle of December. Now you at a home stretch run to sort of get into the same position that you were in with the Los Angeles Rams when you were a major contributor to them winning the Super Bowl.
Mike McCarthy, the Dallas Cowboys head coach, said the following about Odell Beckham Jr. I don't like him. I hope he goes to the Giants. That's what he said. Okay, no, he didn't say that, but this is what he did say. Quote, I've always been a huge fan of his from the people who have worked with him. Everybody has nothing but great things to say about him. Obviously, I've always been so impressed with his football playing ability. How much does Dak need Odell, though, Key?
A lot. I mean, Odell can add some stuff to what they already have in Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, in Noah Brown. He adds something. He brings a little bit of that Amari Cooper veteran leadership. He can run pretty good routes, considering that he had an ACL injury prior to that in Cleveland. He still came back and ran smooth routes. I think that'll never go away.
What's the difference between Odell now and, like, his first couple years of his career, until he got hurt, he was off to arguably greatest start ever. Like, he was up there with Randy Moss and a couple guys in terms of yards, receptions, touchdowns, everything. Forget about just the what you would call the yeast, like when he catches the one-handed catch.
You knew I was getting ready to go
question.
there.
but like Key. So there was that on top of it in a huge market.
Because it's in New York. The yeast is always.
But then underneath were all the numbers too.
Yeah, he had the
How
numbers.
close is he now to that guy? What's the difference? Not how close. What's the difference between that guy and this guy?
He was there. Well, I don't know now because he's 2 ACLs. I don't know. But if
let's
I look
say
up
he's the same guy from the Super Bowl.
If I look at what he was last year, his opportunities in New York were greater than they were with the Rams in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So if you add that to the equation, you're going to get the same OBJ.
You get the opportunity in New York because you'd be the whole offense on passing.
Yeah, but they're not going anywhere, Max.
Maybe with Odell?
No, they're not.
Will you let me dream?
They're a nice little playoff, backdoor playoff, 6-7 seed type team.
What's that contract look like for OBJ? You talking about a 1-year deal? You think Jerry signed him to something a little bit more long term?
I think he could probably get a 2-3-year deal out of him.
Yeah?
Yeah. He could probably get a 2. It won't be big money, though.
What's the money look like?
I can't speak on the man money. I just don't think it's going to be big.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be New York Giant, Cleveland Brown money.
Hey, what about
probably closer to what he did with the Rams.
So that's going to be something where he's going to have to turn down more money, more so for the opportunity.
He doesn't need the money, though.
I hear you.
I mean, everybody needs money.
Everybody needs the money. I don't want to count another man's money.
I just said I don't want to count another man's money.
I can feel Max's breath on my neck when I said he doesn't need the money.
Hey, Key, what's the difference between what the impact would be in Dallas versus Baltimore? That's a team that Jay has brought up.
I love Lamar Jackson. I love Baltimore. But their style would not utilize his talent at the same rate that the Dallas Cowboys would. They don't throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. They could do that at any moment in Dallas. At any moment. They could push the envelope.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.